Hey, sports fans, Larry Eder, RunBlogRun. This is the trials breakdown for day 8. And where do we get started? Well, men's 200. It's going to be fun, guys. Let me see what we got here. Okay. First heat. Remember that 18-year-old young man, Arian Knighton? Well, this guy's just gone 20:04. Did you hear that? Noah Lyles, second, 2019. Fred Curley, third, 2041. And we thought Fred was a 400 guy. Rodney Rowe, 2062, and Marcus Parker, 2063. They all moved on. Virtually everybody moved on in this one. Heat 2, Isaiah Young, 2021. Kenny Benark, 2022. Josephus Lyles, 2039. And Elijah Morrow, 2060. Heat 3, Terrence Laird. This is his PB, 2044. Jordan Booker, 2049, Yaron Flournoy, 2069. And then in Heat 4, Andrew Hudson, 20.40. Matthew Bowling, 20.47. LaShawn Merritt, 2008 Olympic champ at 400, 2053. And Kyrie King, 2063. Yeah, it's way too early. We'll have to see, see what people look like in the semis on Saturday. Women's 800 qualifying was interesting. Athing Mu, new Nike athlete, won her heat in 159.31 with Kate Grace. This is the best that Kate has looked in a year, 159.43. Why? Because she's running aggressively again. She played her cards really close, made this last 50-meter Bernard Lagat move. Looked awesome. Third place, Chanel Price, 159.90. Hannah Green, 201.19. They all moved on. Ajay Wilson won Heat 2 in 159.49, and she didn't lead till the very end. Raven Rogers had a sack lunch and then moved up, 159.66. She looks really good. Ali Wilson, 159.94. Michaela Meyer, 201.06. And Nia Akins, 201.09. Women's 800, I can't call. Ajay and Athing, but I think it's going to take 156, maybe an American record to win. So men's 400 hurdles. So, our friend Ray Benjamin, and I don't know why I call him Ray, it's like more of a king. We'll talk about him in a second. In Heat 1, Kenny Selman, 48.51, Khalifa Roser, 49.04, Isaiah Livingston, they're moving on. And in Heat 2, this is semifinals, Ray Benjamin, 48.61, who scared me in the first round because he had a stutter step on, I think, the second and third hurdle because he was going so damn slow. Just go out and run 48 seconds, man. Cameron Samuel, 49.01, and David Ken Ziara, 49.05, Aldrich Bailey, 49.20, Trevor Bassett, who we watched from Ashland. He's a Division II or Division III athlete. He was quite impressive indoors, 49.37. So a pretty solid 400-meter hurdle crew. Men's discus throw. This was a final. So let's see. Thursday night, I was with my people at Denny's. It's inexpensive. The Wi-Fi always works, and, I can get a booth. Anyway, saw the bronze medalist in the women's shot put with her family. And then this huge guy out front doing discus turns. But he's in, cloth shoes. I'm going, well, this can't be a thrower. It was Mason Finley. Mason Finley went on to win the discus. His fifth throw was his best, 63.07, 206.11. And then Reggie Jagers, 62.61, got his qualifier in the sixth round, man, 62.61. So he's going to Tokyo. Sam Mattis in third. He got his in the first round, 62.51. So we got 3 discus throwers going to Tokyo. Kind of cool stuff. Women's 400 hurdles first round. Wanted to see who was doing what there, and boy, we got some indications. Cindy McLaughlin ran the easiest 54.07 that I've seen in Heat 1, qualified. Nina Haley, 55.05. and Shanna Meisberger, 57-51. That was heat one. Heat two, Shamir Little, 55-22. Ashley Spencer, 55-92. Tianka Bookman, 56-96. Ashton Lindley, 57-51. And Brittany Humphrey, 57-52. They all moved on. Heat three, Cassandra Tate, 56-11. Anna Cockrell, the NCAA 100-meter hurdle and 400-meter hurdle champ, 56-83. Milan Young, 57-71. Lauren Hoffman, 57-88. And in heat four, Olympic champion, world record holder Delilah Muhammad, 55-51. She just looks great, man. She's an amazing athlete, and she's quite relaxed. Kia Seymour, 57-18. Kayla Barber, 57-48. Masai Russell, 57-55. This is going to be a tough event. It is going to be tough to make the final. I think you may see a world record in this one. Okay. Very, very interesting one there. So that was the women's 400 hurdles. And then we're going to get to the men's 1500 semifinals, which was a lot of fun. In the first semi, Craig Engels, 338.56, used the Steve Ovett mode. Google him, man. He's a 1980 Olympic gold medalist. But Steve Ovett had this great move. It was kind of roller derby, kind of ice hockey. And it was Craig was like boxed in and had to get himself in between a couple people. I don't know if he made Pete Julian, his coach, smile or laugh, but it was a great move. 338.56 for the win. Yared Naguse, the Notre Dame young man, second in the NCs, 338.60. Colby Alexander, 338.71. Vincent Ciatti, 338.74. David Ribbage, 338.75. Waleed Suleiman, who just went to Brooks, 338.78. Eric Avila, 339.07. Eric Holt did not move on. Isaac Yokes did not move on. In heat two, so the last 50 meters, it's Cole Hawker and Centrowitz, and Centrowitz gives this look that I translated as, "You really think you can play in my world?" And Cole Hawker really didn't even look at him. So you had the NCAA champion, and you had the NCAA champion and the U.S. champion and the Olympic champion, all in one person. So Matthew went 342.96, Cole Hawker 343.00. Josh Thompson, 343.61. Henry Wynn, 343.77. Sam Brakel, 343.82. Johnny Gregoric was in sixth, did not make the cutoff. And Hobbs Kessler, the high school young man who ran a 334 and broke Jim Ryan's record, he was exhausted, and it just was a little too far back, 345.50 in eighth place. But and also hats off to Ben Blankenship. Ben's had a long career. He made it to the semis. He finished 11th in 346.58. The women's 200 is the next event. And wow, this was the women's semis, and some messages were sent out around the world. Jenna Prandini in the first semi, she had 0.21 seconds ahead of second place, Allison Felix. Jenny Prandini ran 21.99 to qualify, and it's her PB2. Allison Felix, 22.2. Allison looked great. Desiree Bryant, 22.37, moved on. Morleka Kinnison, 22.44, and Linda Irby, 22.45. And then you get to heat two, and Gabby Thomas drops a 21.94 bomb, world leader, and I do believe it is her PB. Second place was Anavia Battle, 22.32. Tamara Clark, 22.35. Women's 200, I think it's Prandini and Thomas. Can Allison make the 200? I think she can. It's going to take 22.10, but I also look at athletes like Luna Irby, Des Bryant. Morleka Kinnison has been there several times, so it's going to be interesting. That women's 200 is going to be totally cool. And then the final event for the day on Friday was the men's steeple. And you know how the men's steeple goes in a championship? They start out at about 9-minute pace, and then they start for steeple, and they start just dropping it down. And it came down to a last lap. I mean, Don Cabral had pushed it early on. Sean McGorty, we had great hopes for him. Isaac Updike was in there and tapped a hurdle, and it came down to Hillary Bohr, Bernard Katir, Mason Furlick, and Dan Michalski with a lap to go. And to make the team, I mean, Dan ran 60.29 for a last lap with barriers and a water jump. And he ran 8:22.54 in fourth. Mason Furlick, 8:22.05, used the 60.02, and he was there. He did not run a wrong move. He ran a world championship race, quite impressive. Bernard Katir, 8:21.81 for second. He used his last lap as a 59.96. And Hillary Bohr from Hoko Oneone, 8:21.34, 59.6 last lap. It was an impressive group. I think we're putting a good team together. Isaac Updike was in fifth place at 8:24.72. Don Cabral, 8:25.95, and Sean McGorty, seventh in 8:27.05. It was a good Friday. There was a lot of fun events. The stadium is still less than probably a third full, and that's because there's so many tickets, up to 3,000, that people hadn't even asked for refunds on. But they couldn't get back out here because lovely airlines were jacking up airline stuff, and the hotels around here were just putting the prices out of everybody's reach. Just insanity. But this is Larry Eater, and this is the trials breakdown for, this was for day 8. Talk to you soon.